Coming to you after the gym, before my library session. It's Wend Wellness Nerd Out time. How you guys doing today? Happy Wend Wellness Nerd Out time. Coming to you from the car, ready to talk about supplements we can take to improve exercise performance, muscle growth, things like that for many different types of avid lifters and, fitness junkies, I guess, in general alike, right? So we talked yesterday about how we have 4 core supplements when it comes to working out that we should be taking all the time, and those were creatine, nitrates, carbohydrates, and protein, of course, right? And we'll talk about the amounts of them more at the end. If you want more information on them, go back to the last video. We went into it pretty good yesterday. Before we get started on anything else, I want to say happy birthday, Courtney Claywater. Happy birthday, girl. Hope you're having a good day today. Happy Sunday. Happy birthday. This one is absolutely for you. We'll talk about her more at the end. So back to our discussion. Aside from creatine, nitrates, our carbs, and our protein, what do we got? Well, if you're somebody who is trying to build muscle and increase power, well, 2 days a week, you can take, believe it or not, 400 to 600 milligrams of caffeine is recommended with 300 milligrams of the amino acid L-theanine. And you can take that after you've been taking it for 4 weeks. That is, you can take it with 300 to 600 milligrams of alpha glycerol phosphorylcholine, that's alpha GPC, or another source of choline, CDP choline. But if you're taking CDP choline, you're going to go a little bit lower on the dosage, 250 to 500 milligrams a day. Okay, so if you are, and you're going to take all that 30 minutes before exercise. All right, now and again, you're taking that much caffeine with the theanine, only go for that 2 days a week. So reserve it for the days where you're doing those heavy compound lifts, maybe, right? Those squats, those deadlifts, push-ups with plates on your back, drop sets, the tough stuff, right? Sprints. So now when we talk about somebody who does aerobic exercise a lot, and we're talking about somebody that has a longer sustained heart rate and respiratory rate, and they want improved endurance. They work out for an hour or more at a time. You want improved endurance and alertness. Well, you can go for 5 to 6.5 grams of beta-alanine in a day and 100 to 200 milligrams of caffeine combined with an equal dosage of L-theanine. And you can take that consistently about every day, all right? Because it's not as high as the aforementioned dosage we were just discussing of caffeine and theanine for the person looking for improved power output and muscle growth in general, right? So this is for you people, again, who are in the gym for an hour or a little bit more. You have that longer, sustained increased heart rate and respiratory rate, and you're more of an endurance type lifter or athlete, and that's how you train. Maybe you go for those long runs, right? Things like that. Now, you can also have 10 to 20 grams of BCAAs, and you're going to have everything 30 minutes before exercise. The beta-alanine you're going to want to take with food if you can, if you are somebody that gets an upset stomach when you take things, because 5 to 6.5 grams is a decent dosage of the beta-alanine, and that's going to be for your whole day, that 5 to 6.5 grams, all right? So now when we talk about someone who does a lot of anaerobic stuff, that HIIT training, that high intensity, those short bursts, all right? You're doing sprints, you do those circuits, that are 2 minutes at a time and 3 minutes, and then you take a break, and then you go nuts again and you take a break. That's kind of how I love to work out. I think it's good to switch it up in general. But for you people out there, you are going to get 10 to 20 grams of BCAAs as well if you want. More importantly, 5 to 6.5 grams of that beta-alanine in a day. And you can also, since you're doing this high intensity stuff and you're roasting through your glycogen stores, you got to replenish them after the workout, and you're going to need some protein. All right. So shortly after the workout, you're going to have 0.07 to 0.11 grams of protein per pound of body weight, and you're going to have 3 to 4 times that amount of carbohydrates, okay? So the easier way to think about that, instead of remembering those weird decimals, 10% of your body weight in protein, 30 to 40% of your body weight in carbs shortly after your workout if you do HIIT training. All right, now again, with 5 to 6.5 grams of beta-alanine, and you can have 600 milligrams of ashwagandha root as well 1 hour before exercise, and have it in the form of a standardized extract like KSM 66, standardized for the percentage of withanolides, those compounds responsible for the beneficial effects. All right, there are a few others, but they are the major ones. All right, so again, that's 600 milligrams of ashwagandha root in the form of KSM 66 1 hour before the workout, 5 to 6.5 grams of beta-alanine, and like we said, 10% of your body weight in grams per pound, right? So 0.1 grams per pound of body weight, 10% in protein, 30 to 40% in carbs shortly after your workout if you do HIIT training. These are your people that do that anaerobic, high intensity, short burst type stuff. So now for the intermittent faster, all right? For the intermittent faster, you are going to have hydroxymethylbutyrate, that's HMB, in the dosage of 3 to 6.5 grams in a day. And HMB is just a metabolite of L-leucine. If you remember us talking about L-leucine, the major amino acid involved in muscle protein synthesis of the 3 BCAAs, and that's why it's a 2 to 1 to 1 ratio of leucine to isoleucine to valine. The major amino acid involved in MPS is leucine, and now its metabolite also is involved in it, hydroxymethylbutyrate, right, HMB, but less so in terms of muscle protein synthesis. The big benefit we get with HMB for intermittent fasters is the fact that it slows amino acid catabolism or breakdown, all right? So it inhibits muscle breakdown or protein catabolism, protein breakdown. It inhibits that more than leucine, so it's even better for that. So really it'd be great if we can have our BCAAs, which we're gonna, 10 to 20 grams, and we're gonna have 20 to 40 grams of protein with those 10 to 20 grams of BCAAs. I like to have the BCAAs right before the workout, especially if you're breaking the fast after the workout. We talked about combining the window yesterday, right, like that. Now you're gonna have that within 2 hours after the workout, the 20 to 40 grams of protein, okay? 3 to 6.5 grams of hydroxymethylbutyrate. And what else do we got for the intermittent faster? You can also have caffeine and theanine, of course, if you want. Really, all these groups can. But I'm trying to give you the more specific, up-to-date information as according to examine.com. So if you want to check it out yourself, you can. But great information, unbiased truth based on meta-analyses of studies, right? So many studies. Now, if you are somebody that, now these were all, remember, these were all alongside the core supplements. So what were our core supplements? We have to always remember this. They're called the core ones for the reason, the most important. Creatine monohydrate. How much? 5 grams in a day. Well, you can have 10 grams if you have a lot of muscle mass, you're an avid lifter, you've been working out for a long time, and if you've never had creatine before, you can load it for 7 days. You can have 20 to 25 grams a day, all right? Now, when we talk about nitrates, right, nitrates, which are converted into nitrites, which are converted into nitric oxide, right, that vasodilator, right, improving blood flow to the rest of the body. Our nitrates we find in foods like leafy greens, like beetroot, right? So now, if you have a tough time getting your nitrates, and again, it was in 2.9 to 5.8 milligrams per pound of body weight is what it was in a day. If you're having trouble getting that amount before you're working out, well, then what you can do is you can supplement 6 grams of L-citrulline, the amino acid involved in that nitric oxide pathway, as it goes citrulline, arginine, nitric oxide, right? And we just said what nitric oxide does, improving that blood flow, improving performance mentally and physically, giving you a better pump, right? So if you're going to have citrulline, that's fine, 6 grams. You can also have citrulline malate, which is just L-citrulline combined with malic acid, an intermediate keto acid in the Krebs cycle, right? The citric acid cycle, energy producing pathway. And so, oh, there's a blue jay just landed right here. I'm going to show you guys. Oh, no, don't go. No. He just left. He was cool. But I love birds, pretty birds, especially like that. But so when we're talking about this nitric oxide boost, right, from L-citrulline or citrulline malate, well, alongside it, we can take N-acetylcysteine, because N-acetylcysteine, abbreviated NAC, it promotes the production of glutathione, and we know that glutathione is an antioxidant that prolongs the release of nitric oxide, so, promoting nitric oxide synthase. So it is a great thing to have alongside your nitric oxide boosters, right? Now, citrulline primarily, or citrulline malate, more so than arginine. And if you're curious as to why, I'll say it very quickly. We've said it before. L-citrulline has a lower first-pass metabolism or first-pass intake than does L-arginine. That's why we prefer citrulline, the first step in the pathway for boosting nitric oxide. And so that means that less citrulline is degraded before it reaches the target tissues, gets into circulation, and can have an effect. Also with arginine, it promotes the production of arginase enzyme that will break down arginine more so, and therefore you'll actually yield less nitric oxide with arginine supplementation than you will with L-citrulline supplementation. And that's why we talk about citrulline in terms of boosting nitric oxide over arginine, okay? And you're going to want to take it with N-acetylcysteine, all right? So each demographic that, or each, group, subgroup with different fitness goals that we've talked about here, aerobic, anaerobic, muscle builders, power, and intermittent fasters, you all can take these nitric oxide boosters. It'd be fantastic. We'd love to improve blood flow and performance in our pump during our workout, right? No matter what kind of thing we're doing here. And on top of all that, we can take adaptogens if we'd like. That will help us with the mental aspect of exercise. Okay, so all these groups, these subgroups, you guys out there, you can try things like rhodiola rosea root, for example, and make sure it's standardized to 3% rosivins, 1% saligercides, the active beneficial biological compounds contained within rhodiola rosea root. All right, to give us those beneficial effects. It's a lot today, I know. I'm trying to, I'm glad I took my Bacopa today, so it's all in the forefront of my mind. But trying to think of what else I wanted to talk to you guys about. So when we say out of our core supplements, we just talked about creatine, 5 grams a day, could be 10 grams if you have a lot of muscle mass. And we said you can load with 20 grams a day if you haven't taken it for 7 days a week. And we said our nitrates. Also, protein and carbs. This is for each group. Once again, I will reiterate what we said yesterday. With the protein, it was anywhere in the range of 0.64 to 1.5 grams per pound of body weight in a day. Okay, and 1.5 is for somebody that's been, working out for a long time. You're an avid lifter and you've already got a decent amount of muscle growth. You're looking for some more. For everybody else, you can generally land around 1 gram per pound of body weight to make it easy, so you don't have to remember, weird decimals, stuff like that, once again, for the purpose of building muscle, okay? Now, when we talk about carbs, it was anywhere in the range of 1.8 to 3.2 grams per pound of body weight, I believe is what it was, and towards that lower end if you are a bodybuilder, right? Or somebody looking for power. And again, you need a little bit more if you're somebody that does those high intensity, high burst activities like the sprinting or the HIIT training. All right, so boom, that was that's all we got for you. Sorry it wasn't a lot. Who do we got on here? Evolution, how you doing, baby? Pro Nation ID, Danny Kip, Cody Larson. What's up? Official Long Leg Ginger. I love your name. That's fantastic. Thank you for tuning in. So before we go, we got to say happy birthday, Courtney Claywater. Happy birthday, girl. I hope you had a lot of fun today. I hope you're having fun today. And I hope you're spending it with Loopy, who I absolutely love. What's up, Loopy, if you're watching this? You guys are both great. And, it seems like you're really happy. You're living a great life right now, Court. And I'm very happy to see that. I'm very happy for you. I'm very happy for both of you to have found each other. And again, I hope you guys have a fantastic day today. And I want you to know 100% this one is for you. It's forever your day in the book of Wend Wellness. So happy birthday. Enjoy it. As for the rest of you, thank you very much. Have a great rest of your day, and we'll see you tomorrow, folks. Any questions, message me. If you want to talk about anything else in particular, I would be happy to. Again, that one was also for you, Tom. I hope it was helpful. And have a great rest of your Sunday, you guys. Happy Wend Wellness. Thank you.